African Safari Wildlife Park is a wild experience with over 800 exotic animals. Our drive-through safari features giraffes, zebras, deer, elk, alpacas, and even a white bison, all of which you can feed right from your vehicle. Walk on the wild side with a Zoo It All Pass and feed kangaroos, porcupines, tortoises, and rabbits. Step into our aviary adventure and hand feed budgies for a memorable experience. Check out our live educational shows or ride a camel. Create memories that will last a lifetime at the Ohio Safari Park, African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton.
Well, happy, what is this, Tuesday morning to you all out there. Welcome to the morning show on Main Street TV. And of course, Jennifer here to start off the morning with a newbie. Our good friend Alex is here, and I have to admit, you might be the tallest drink of water that's ever been on this program.
Yeah, the situation in the chairs, I'm just wanting to make sure everything's right here.
So if he, for some reason, because our chairs are adjustable, and how tall are you?
6'8".
Yeah, he's 6'8". So getting those long legs underneath this desk has been quite a challenge. And these chairs are a bit adjustable, but that doesn't mean that they won't just, fall down or go popping up or whatever.
Oh, I've broken many a chair. We'll just roll with it.
Well, that sounds good. And so, Alex, you are actually part of the team that works downstairs here in the building. So let's talk for a minute about, I guess, a little bit about yourself and then about what you do here at Total Media.
I'm sort of Pete's hound. About Pete Wilson's, just his gopher. He sends me out to do things that he needs me to do.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to cater to his every whim.
That's right. And where are you from originally?
Sciotaville.
Where's that?
Near Portsmouth.
Portsmouth?
Portsmouth.
If you're from around these parts.
Near the river.
Okay, so Sciotaville. Do you still live there?
No, I actually live you could throw a rock and hit my house from here.
Well, don't tell us where it is. We might do that.
That's fine. People do it every day.
I'm just kidding.
Oh no.
So what are some of the fun things that you get to do down, when you are being, I think Pete's gopher is probably not quite exactly how your job title goes, but
Editorial assistant.
there you go. That sounds better.
Yes.
So what have been some of the things that you've gotten to do that have been interesting while you've been here?
I getting to meet people has been the best of my experiences so far. I think the most memorable is that there was a sophomore author. He's just a sophomore in high school, already written his first book. It was he was a very pleasant young man to talk to. Really, it's all just been an experience. I'm not used to being around people.
You're not?
No.
Well, you're so good at it, though.
Really?
Yeah.
No. Just getting to know people that I've interviewed for stories for Pete, and getting to know everybody in the office. Everybody in the office is wonderful. They're my favorite group of people.
Yeah, it's a very fun and pleasant place to be, and everyone is very helpful and kind.
Yes.
And that helps. And sometimes there's donuts.
A lot of times there's donuts, especially now that I'm here.
And the treatery's here.
Yeah.
Darn them for opening. I will say that's so funny.
We can say that I've gained a few pounds because of them, but yeah, that's why.
Haven't we all? Thanks a lot, Nicole. You know what I don't understand is Nicole and Brandon have the treatery, and they are the two of the most fit people in Jackson. I haven't figured that out yet. It's not right.
Maybe one of those don't get high on your own supply sort of thing.
Maybe. That's exactly right. Yeah, it's I guess so. It's kind of the same as everyone's like, oh my gosh, don't you eat fried mushrooms every day? From the restaurant. I'm like, no.
They say I can't do that.
I don't. No?
No, apparently not.
Drat.
All right.
So okay, so but you have gotten to cover a lot of stories, and is your background in news
It
or
is not.
no? So how'd you end up here?
I was working a lot of jobs that just weren't going anywhere, and
Yeah.
finally I just said I talked to my wife, and I just said, "Hon, I can't do it anymore. I want to do
I'm not happy, right?
yeah, I want to do what I want to do." And I've always been a writer. I've always tried to be a writer, and I emphasize writer and not author. But no. I'm getting back in school. I'd like to pursue my doctorate in psychology, and
Okay.
here it allows me to get better at writing.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'm coming across very well
Sure
or expressing
you
this
are.
very well, but I write better than I speak, believe it or not. Hopefully.
Well, you speak just fine.
for Pete's
For Pete's sake,
yeah.
ha ha ha, pun intended. Ha ha.
Yeah, no.
So no, that's exciting. So have you gone back to school yet, or you're thinking about going back to school?
I'm in the process of
You are?
getting back for it, but I wanted to wait a bit and cement myself here at this job, make sure that I'm doing all that Pete needs me to do, and
Well, that makes total sense. So, what's the wildest story you've gotten to cover? The craziest story? I know there has to be one.
there hasn't really been yet. The people that I've talked to. The Leo Jude soap company that's opening up down here on Broadway.
Okay, yeah.
It's a really, really neat concept. It's all vegan soaps. It's all environmental friendly soaps. But her number one seller, apparently, Miss Robinson, her number one seller apparently has been breast milk soap.
Really?
Yes.
All right, now you gotta explain.
Yeah, and that's I was intrigued as well when I had read this. When she was giving me the information for it, because
Yeah.
I had to read it twice. I'm like, now what soap? But the benefits for breast milk soap are apparently extremely, extremely high, and
I've never heard of such a thing.
they're apparently very, very good for your skin. Everybody buys it, and she gets donations from local mothers who are very healthy, and
Yeah.
but it's a really good concept. It's a really neat concept, and if you ever have the chance, I mean, yeah, definitely check that out.
Are they open yet?
No, I believe
They're
she
brick
said
and mortar anyway. I mean, their store. They're
Yeah.
going in where the candy store was.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. No, she hasn't opened yet, but I think she slotted it for mid or late August.
Okay.
Um,
Fantastic.
but
Love local, downtown businesses.
oh, absolutely.
This is what we need.
Yes. We need a lot more just like them.
Yes.
But I've had a lot of opportunity to meet people like that. DK's Waffles.
Uh huh.
Yeah, the Hillmans there, they've been fantastic. They're great people, and their food's awful good too. So
Yeah, and they're down kind of on Water Street, right?
They moved.
Or did they move? Okay, because
They-
I knew
they
they
did
were
move. There
looking for a
was-
location to move to.
Yeah, there was vandalism and things like that, which is deplorable, but
Yeah.
and unfortunate. But nope, they're still.
Where did they move to?
I'm not certain. I'm not certain off the top of my head. But,
Well, news guy, you better get out there and find
I know,
out.
right? I'm terrible at,
No,
in this
you're not.
sense. No.
No, not at all. Okay, so since you are the news guy, you did bring up some news stories today
I
that we can
did.
go over. Unfortunately, our top story in the news is not a good one.
No. No.
So I'll let you do the news, and very, very sad top of the news story for us today to report.
Well, it was announced at the board meeting, or I'm sorry, not the board meeting, the city council meeting, that John Peters died, second ward councilman, and I found that very unfortunate, and I hadn't heard that he was sick. I mean, he's not been present at a lot of the meetings and everything, but he was apparently sick, and he unfortunately passed.
So I went to school and grew up with, I spent a lot of time at their house actually, growing up, and John and Kaida, and I grew up with their daughter Megan, and she's one of my besties, and their son Ryan, and so yeah, I've been thinking a lot about them, and unfortunately this COVID thing is not fake,
No.
and it is real, and there are people that are being affected by it, and we think it's going away, and I don't know that that's necessarily the case, as we've just lost a Jackson City Council person due to complications, and so please, keep them in your thoughts, and the council in their thoughts, because I don't know. This would be an interesting thing to follow up on, news guy. I'm not sure whether what council does in that. I don't know that this has ever happened before. So did you find out?
I have a little bit from Phil. I'm talking. This is James talking off camera.
James is talking off camera.
So Phil is going to check with the Board of Elections about this, but he believes that it will be to fill out the remainder of the term will be appointed by the Republican Party, because that was
his party.
His party.
That would have been my guess,
Yeah.
but I was not for sure, because everything is different.
Right, and Phil is going to contact the Board of Elections to confirm that. But
Okay.
he believes that's the case.
All right. Well, nonetheless, a very, very sad story to report this morning on that.
Yeah, it was just terrible to hear. They were actually going to cancel the meeting, but speaking with his significant other and his son, they said no. He's going to want this.
He
meeting.
would.
Yeah.
He would want them to have the meeting for sure.
It's everybody was very sad to know that they were going to lose him as a councilman and as a friend, and even as an acquaintance.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was also the first council meeting that was made available for viewing on YouTube, alongside Spectrum Channel 1024.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. It's on YouTube if anybody wants to watch.
Okay.
Them go over that or leave a comment.
Okay. So
Condolences.
did you cover the meeting last night?
Phil did.
Phil covered the
yes,
meeting.
Phil did.
Okay. But yeah, there will be, I'm sure, more information coming out.
Yes. As we get it.
Yeah, as we get it, and then we can report back on what happened actually at the council meeting as well.
Very much.
Okay.
Okay. Oh no, that's it. I'm done.
Nice try.
Yeah. September 11th in Oak Hill, there is also a suicide awareness event going on at Etna Park. It's called Fight for Life. The Sharps, I believe, are the family spearheading that.
Okay.
They have a very personal stake in that. They're to be as light as possible. Their son committed suicide. I believe last year.
Okay.
I'm not sure of that exactly, but I believe it was last year. And personally, I think this is a very important issue for people to be aware of, and that if any support at all can be given to an event, this is the one that you'll really want to put your stake in.
Okay. Well, tell us about it.
Well, there's going to be a lot going on there. There's live bands like Red Brush Band, Fire Creek, Crooked Foot, which, I mean,
Are fantastic.
yeah, and of late they've been playing a lot of festivals. I saw Red Brush. I believe I saw Red Brush Band at Festival of Flags. Crooked Foot was at another. I can't think. I'm kind of hesitant to say which one right now because I can't think of it.
We have a lot of local talent, though. and-
Very.
and
Oh my Lord.
Those
yes.
folks are it. Some of it, yeah, for sure.
But there's going to be karaoke, bake sales. There's a bean dinner, a Nerf obstacle course, silent auction, raffle, things like that. Giovanni's, Pepsi, Holzer, Adina, they're Nana's House. They're all local places, kind of throwing their hat into this ring as well, sponsoring and making sure that this is an issue that gets visited, which is very.
Okay.
it
And again,
is.
who, what, where, when, and all of the-
September 11th in Etna Park in Oak Hill,
Okay.
1 p.m. to 9 p.m.
okay, so it's kind of an all-day event.
Yeah, almost.
Oh.
It'll be a very long, long event. Which luckily, hopefully, they get a lot of traffic and things coming through. Some mental health professionals are going to be available to speak to, and
You know, the mental health thing is well, it's something that we could do a week-long program on or year-long program on, but you know, unless you've been personally affected by it, you don't understand it. A lot of people, I think, are cold when they hear it because they think people use it as an excuse, and that's not the case at all. But I've heard that. And you know, if anything, this pandemic has really brought to light some of the issues that folks are having because it's just exacerbated, you know, some of the problems that we all have anyway,
Yeah.
and made them, you know, 10 times worse. And we really need to be cognizant of the fact that it's out there and that there's probably people that need help. And unfortunately, when everybody's kind of staying at home and whatever, that's the worst possible thing that could happen.
yes, the isolation is.
They don't have support, and the isolation can be maddening. So,
Well, it's an awful fact, but I think roughly 10% of all adolescent deaths result from suicide, and it gravitates from the number 2 to number 3 leading cause of death for school-age kids, and it's such an awful thing and it's so easily prevented. Maybe not easily treated, but easily prevented.
well, and it should be more easily recognized
Yes.
than it was in the past when people were afraid to talk about it, or you know, they just think I'm crazy. So yeah, it's not a good thing. And if you think you know somebody struggling, this would be a great opportunity to maybe get some help or get some information about it.
Very, very much. I very much think that the Sharps are doing a very wonderful thing in bringing recognition to this issue.
You know, you think about kids, and I mean, I even get it as you get older and real life sets in and whatever, and the responsibilities, but it's like I think back about my childhood and how, you know, it was happy and, you know, you did fun kid things, and to think that there's kids out there struggling with depression and as little kids, I mean, it's just too much. Hi, Karina. Karina's here.
You've
Try
been
not to
caught.
interrupt.
She looks awful cute. She's all tie-dye and stuff.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, she just ran out.
She's the lucky.
She doesn't like it. You're making me feel bad here. He's giving me a complex.
No, never.
But no, it's no. So please get out, support this event. It's a good one, and you know, if you know of anyone or yourself, you're struggling and haven't admitted it or afraid to, be a good opportunity.
It would be a great opportunity. Just to check out. It really
And just
would.
hear some good music and get some good food.
Yeah,
if nothing
really.
else.
I'm gonna say community. That's what it's really all about.
That's right. And you know, the Oak Hill community is such a good community. They're so tight knit
Yes,
down there.
very
and
close, very tight knit.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yes.
All right, what else do you have, newsman? Wait, If Pete's newsman, can you be news dude or news boy or
Yeah,
news
his
youngin?
faithful ward or of sorts. There was a special board meeting from the Vinton Board of Education last night. They
Vinton
were-
County Schools.
Yeah, they were I believe they were the last to implement their mask policy.
Yeah, because everyone been kind of waiting. I know Jackson. Let's see, Jackson said yes.
Jackson is mandating. Oak Hill is not mandating. Wellston recommends that you use it, but is not.
mandating.
Yeah, is not enforcing that.
Okay.
Now there is a state. I do believe there is a state mandate that kids have to wear masks on buses.
Yes,
Yes.
there is.
But other than that, as far as they specified, it's
Well,
up
I think
to-
they're kind of leaving it up to the individual school districts
Yes.
because they feel as if at this point in this pandemic, we're now a year and a half into it. You should probably know what's best for your district as a superintendent and, teacher and all of that. School
would
board. One would hope, yes.
yeah.
So Vinton County was kind of the last to announce. So what did they decide?
Well, their restart plan was implemented, and in a 4-0 vote and everything, they are going to mandate masks.
Okay.
Or excuse me, that went entirely in the other direction.
Okay.
No, I'm very sorry. They are not mandating masks.
Okay, gotcha.
Goodness. But no, they will require masks on buses to like athletic events, to and from school,
Okay.
academic field trips, things like that. But in the building, no masks will be mandated. Of course, I mean it's up to individuals if they want to wear one anyway. So-
If you watch the news, I'm about half tempted to wash all mine and rip them back out again because it's
Yeah.
like this is getting pretty stupid again.
Mention of the Delta variant and various epidemiologist testimony and everything. It looks like it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, none of us want to hear that. We all want to hear that we were on the upswing and fairs and festivals opened back up and we're ready to party and whatever, and things got opened back up, and here we go. So we'll see.
Which was a wonderful thing. I was kind of dancing for joy when my gym opened back up, and I will not question the logic behind any decision and everything else like that. I was just happy to get back in the gym, but
Right.
But it does look like this needs more attention, needs looked at a little bit more.
Well, and here's the thing with these school districts is, it's not, their final decision as far as how they're going to open school doesn't necessarily mean that's going to how school continues throughout the year. And, this thing's ever changing. They have meetings every other week or once a month or whatever. So it's like, these things can all change. They can be fluid and move on.
Well, it's a very dynamic approach to it. I mean, if it proves that this is not effective or anything else, I'm sure they'll act accordingly and change it. They're very conscientious of how this is working, and in the classrooms, I believe they are implementing 3 feet distancing from
Okay.
each other, which social distancing has always been a thing since
It has
the
been
pandemic
a thing. That's
started.
been
and
that was probably the first thing that we heard.
I got yelled at so many times for standing too close to people in gas stations. Everything. I'm like, golly, I'm just.
I'm just a big guy.
It's an optical illusion.
I'm
It
really
wasn't.
not that close.
It wasn't. I was that close. No. But there's other things that Vinton County's implemented. They're going to put hand sanitizers in, like is standard. They're replacing drinking fountains with those neat little bottle saver fountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, which I think those are a neat little green initiative anyway, and but parents are encouraged to get their kids
Like a water bottle.
yeah
Yeah, makes sense.
for that, and maybe there'll be less contamination. I don't know if that's the right word to use through that, but
Okay.
that was
Go ahead.
no after you.
But no, and it's interesting. Each individual school district has to make their own decisions, and that's totally fine. And that's why folks are elected and hired to represent us and our children.
Well, they've elected very prudent officials, and these people, I believe, are doing what they believe is in the best interest of their respective school district. They wouldn't be making these choices if they thought that kids would be in danger or
Sure.
anything like that. So, I mean, we need to put our faith in our school leaders and believe
Absolutely.
that they're doing what's right.
You know, and that's exactly right. I know, in talking to some of my girlfriends from college, especially, most of them are teachers or principals or administrators now as they've worked their ways up. And I'll be honest with you, they were all like, "What are y'all doing down south?" And this was like last year. I'm like, "Well, we're going back to school," and they were like, "What?"
Yeah. Whoa.
And about, a couple months in, they're like, "How's it going?" I'm like, "Fine." Like, and they were just in shock. And then, as the year went on, they were all just, their kids are struggling. Like, I know my one girlfriend, her one daughter is very motivated, self-sufficient, whatever, and her other daughter was just struggled with online like crazy, and it just wasn't her bag. She was just having a really hard time with it. And so I think that, if you can possibly have the kids in school, that's where they need to be.
Yeah.
For sure. And we pulled it off all last year down here.
Yeah. And they get a lot of positive interaction with other kids as well, which
Yes.
It's you don't want some any Norman Bates type scenarios or anything.
Well,
Yes, mother.
yeah. Yeah, and you don't want, and again, in talking about your previous story with mental health and whatever, I mean, these kids need each other. And they
Very
need to be
much.
there for each other, and they need their friends. They're social creatures.
It's a very, very excellent point, because it doesn't just fall down to the parents or the communities, but it's relationships with the other kids too. It's a very
Absolutely.
excellent point.
Your peers, for sure.
Very
So,
much.
yeah, that's important. And so fingers crossed we can keep everybody in school. That would be great.
I'm hoping. Here is definitely the hoping. But as far as mask mandates from Benton County schools and all that, there will be
Nothing-
more released.
Okay. And nothing so far going in.
Just
our
what's
fingers
just the restart plan that they've done, which
But no masks.
no,
That's,
no.
yeah, that's what I was-
Yeah, I'm sorry, I
you're fine.
misunderstood. Imagine.
Totally
um,
fine.
A lighter, perhaps, note. All the talk of paving and things like that around Jackson is finally.
Is it going to happen?
It is happening.
What?
Scheduled date of August 16th.
Okay.
And there is a lot going on. I have a laundry list of streets here that are going to be undergoing paving and construction. And
Oh,
things like
really?
that. Yes.
Okay.
But I really think it needs it. It's not like they're doing a bad job or anything. As the city, I mean, it's not like they're doing a bad job in the upkeep of streets and everything else like that. But we've all seen it as we've drove by. Our cars have definitely
lost? Yeah.
known the price or anything else like that.
Well, listen, we live in Ohio, and here's the deal with living in Ohio. You have winters that go from 75 degrees one day to 20 degrees the next day with rain, snow, ice, whatever. And Ohio weather is a constant, in winter, is a constant battle of contraction and expansion.
Yes.
And what does that affect? Number one, rubber roofs. And number two, our streets. Our streets, our highways, all of that, because they're just constantly getting moved around. And they also are constantly getting salt and everything else on them. So, eventually they wear down and they need fixed.
Yeah, I mean,
like fixed, not like throw something in the hole fixed.
yeah,
Which they do to try to remedy.
alleviate that, and they're good short-term fixes. But
Yeah.
It's finally being done. I think people are really going to be happy when they drive.
You're going to be annoyed while we're fixing it.
Oh yeah, that's going to be awful.
But listen, it's a means to an end. Like, just suck it up for a little while.
Omelet, eggs, that sort of thing.
Yep.
But yeah, just places like Huron Street, Vine Street, Burlington Road, Harding Avenue is another place. Evans Place, from Maine to Water, which I'm particularly
That's the post
happy to
office.
hear.
That's the post office drive-through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's all. It's hopefully it all gets alleviated. It's all going to work. I worry about when I'm driving on these streets and everything. It must be difficult for the police, the local police, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this guy drunk?
I know, right? No, he's just avoiding potholes.
No, that's what it is. I mean, just you're weaving through the road, and it looks like you got the Tasmanian devil having a tantrum in the back seat, and
You're
but
right.
shoot, if you hit those potholes and everything, they're like, he had to be drunk to hit those potholes.
I know.
I mean, I feel like I need a passport to when I hit one of these potholes because I'm going to wind up in another country or something.
So when we were, yeah, right.
Yeah.
We were little kids. We used to actually go when we were out riding our bikes. You wanted to go find all the potholes so that you could like
Absolutely.
ramp over them and stuff.
Absolutely.
But not with your car so much.
There's a little less upkeep
Not
on.
quite as much fun.
No. Fewer scars, maybe.
Yeah, right. Still picking rocks out of my knees from all the back alleys,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
bike wrecks, but
Absolutely. No, it's really good that the city's jumping on this. I think they're going to do a really good job with it.
well, and is some of this money, has it been allocated from the income tax, or is this money that was already allocated?
I believe it would have something to do with the income tax, so people can rest assured that they're not just doing that just to do it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So with things like that, this paving project and everything that they've implemented and everything, the new city income tax and things like that makes a lot of things like this possible. So, I mean, you might complain about getting taxed a little bit more, but your city's going to look a lot better, and there's going to be a lot more that they can do.
Well, and I think that these are the reason why people vote things in like that. Nobody wants to pay more taxes, but we also don't want to lose our cars in a pothole on Broadway Street.
Right.
So, it's give and take to make sure that our infrastructure is good.
I cringe every time I drive out of Kroger because of that evil hole sitting right there on the side of the street.
So I drive down Broadway every day, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
twice a day, and yeah, it's rough.
But no, just really want to thank the city for what they're doing with the paving. They're finally getting that underway.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Well, let's get to it. Again, it's going to be pain in the rear end while they're doing it, but it'll be great when it's done.
Yes,
So-
it will be.
Yep. So you're a tall drink of water. So you look like a basketball player. Did you play basketball?
Once upon a time, when I always had Larry Bird syndrome. Once I rise above 6 inches above the ground, gravity sucks me back down. But it's
Understood.
But yeah, I did play basketball in high school. I don't want to say when. It was
A couple
hot.
years ago.
Yes, absolutely.
This is our story, and we're sticking to it.
Yeah, a couple years.
Everything that I've ever done in my life was a couple years ago.
No, I quite enjoyed it.
Okay. Well, when you played in basketball, so there is actually an attempt right now going on, and basketball players from New York and Canada have gathered in a New York gym, and they're in the midst of a Guinness World Record attempt for the world's longest basketball game. And they're doing this in Buffalo, New York. And this kind of goes along with what you were talking about earlier. A guy started it because he was trying to raise money for mental health awareness after one of his friends committed suicide.
Wow.
So it's kind of a benefit as well as trying to get in the Guinness book. Guy said, 6 years ago, I started running a neighborhood basketball game in my driveway known as the Berryman Drive Fiesta Bowl. It was kind of a fun way for our neighbors to get together in the driveway. Then over the years, it became this massive fundraiser, not just to raise money for mental health and awareness. So anyway, the time to beat, are you ready for this? Can you play basketball for 120 hours, 1 minute, and 7 seconds?
Ooh.
That's a lot of basketball. 120. How many days is that? 20.
4, 5, 5 or 6. No, a little closer to 6. More than 5.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
They also said that the game was a record attempt inspired by COVID. We always had a basketball background, running 3-on-3 tournaments. And the game in the driveway. So this kind of gave them, they brought it all together, and they're trying to do this. So the world's longest basketball game. And if they're successful, it should be like tomorrow, I think, when they're done with it. Because they started it, several days ago. How long is that, Jenna?
5 days.
5 days.
Math is hard.
Math is hard.
No, it's,
Hey, listen, when you get into double digits, you lose me in my head.
Oh, it's. I'm not sure. Sometimes I think the inner workings of my mind are like that screensaver where something my little brain just starts pinging back and forth on the screen.
It's like a living Pong game.
Yeah. But isn't that remarkable? Just how something small turns out like that, and then
Yeah.
it just snowballs into something.
Yes, it is.
So big, and it's such a good cause. That's so good to hear.
It is, and they just said there's tons and tons of people participating in it. I would have to think that they're having a lot of substitutions, as 5 days of basketball would take quite a while. So, I wonder what the score is at the end of 5 days.
That's what I was gonna ask. I was like, "Good Lord, can I get a score for that?" And who won?
How many points can you score in 5 straight days? But yeah, so
I guess it depends on how long they're staying up. Like, not too many are gonna be scored on the second day.
I know, like they're just like,
A lot of half court
I'm
shots.
just dribbling.
The ball's back there. So.
No, that would be tough, and I think they have like hundreds of people participating in it, so it's kind of cool.
Excellent.
So they're going to do the world record, but they're also raising money for suicide awareness and for good causes. So
That is
kind
that's-
of win-win for everybody.
That's an amazing cause. It's very good. I'm very happy to hear that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm asking the 6'8" guy if he's afraid of heights.
I'm terrified, actually. I look out in the morning.
Do you just live your life in constant fear then?
Yeah,
'Cause you're so
I get
tall?
I get up in the morning, and it's like an alarm clock for the house. I just scream very loud. No, I'm not afraid of heights.
Or it's all relative. I mean, what are heights for you at 6'8" versus
Right.
heights for the rest of us?
Right. No, I have no illusions. I know I'm large.
No, that's really cool to be that tall, and but so if you don't have if you're not afraid of heights, I want to see if you're willing to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So Brazil has their tallest skyscraper in Brazil has opened a glass bottom viewing deck on the 42nd floor. It's called the Mirante do Vale, the tallest building. You'll be able to visit the Sampa Sky glass deck starting Sunday. The designers say it's intended to give visitors the experience of floating high over the city. There it is. It is freaking me out and giving me anxiety just looking at that picture. I can't. Early visitors giving a preview of the attraction described the experience as disorienting but beautiful. So I just don't know. Now they charge you for this.
Oh, that's
$5.73 per visitor, with children under the age of 5 admitted without cost. Well, who's going to take their kid up there?
that's what hit me. I'm like,
That's a horrible idea. So what, Jenna, pull that picture back up, would you? Because I want to. What is around? Is it glass walls too? Like what is around? What keeps you from
It looks
falling
like
off?
it looks like just the little thin layer of glass under your feet.
No, I'm not getting on there.
I saw a picture. It kind of looks like those glass elevators in malls where they kind of stick out from the side of like a big structure.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but it doesn't move.
Yeah, no. Would you do it? No? Would you do it?
Oh yeah.
I think I would literally probably die of a heart attack.
The
I would be physically ill.
the whole urban.
It's beautiful. It's
It
lovely.
is. I'm gonna say the whole urban look of this and all that is the city landscape. I guess you would say.
Yeah,
But it looks really eye opening. Whether or not your eyes are going to be open because you're scared to death,
I
or
was gonna say my eyes would be open, all right.
you get halfway down. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, right.
Or-
Well, it would be bad enough for me getting in an elevator to get all the way up there, let alone walking out on that thing.
Yeah. I mean, I might have to think about it.
I just want. I mean, you have to think like, how safe is that? I'm sure it is, but you're standing on a sheet of glass. Like, no, that's not okay.
I'm pretty sure. I'm roughly about 300 pounds. I don't know how well I can climb a rope or anything else like that. But the second I heard something creep, I mean, I'd be monkeying up that rope.
That'd be the end of that. Yeah.
Yep, I'm done.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't know. What do you all think out there? Give us a shout out. Let us know, because I'm just not sure that I could do it. We went to a convention. Some of the radio folks went to the convention out in Vegas, the NAB convention, several years ago, and we went up, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into, thank God, because I don't know that I would have gone. But we went up to eat at the Stratosphere, which, so the Stratosphere is like it almost looks like the Space Needle in Seattle, but it rotates. So you're in the restaurant, and it rotates. So you're way up in the air, and there's glass all around you, and you're spinning around while you're eing.
I know what you're talking about. Okay. I didn't know
The
that was what it
elevator
was
freaked
called.
me out, let alone being up there and trying to eat. The funniest part is there's a ledge on the side of it. So if you put your purse down, the next thing you know, it's not there anymore.
That's like it's like the
Like it's
the-
at
the-
someone else's table.
like the baggage carousel back there.
Yes.
you keep your valuables in there. Everybody's change places.
Yeah, it's freaky. So you literally spin around while you're eating.
That's so cool.
I'm glad you think so.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's what I was just thinking. I was like, I guess that's just a me thing, but it's neat.
Yeah, but thank God no one told me what it was like when I probably would have been standing on the ground while everyone else had a lovely meal, because
Oh yes. Do you do carry out?
Right? Can you just throw it down over the side? I'll catch it.
There's a
That'll be
dump.
fine. They also have a roller coaster up there. Yeah. That goes out over the side of it, and yeah, no thank you. Mm-mm. Not this girl. It's bad enough being enclosed in it, let alone being out. I don't know. They might do, I think they might have one of those ejection seat things too, or like a thing that goes up, or bungeeing or something.
Oh, okay. Like, good Lord, I can't think of what they're called either. We'll go with bungee.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll go with the bungee thing. There's all kind of weird stuff where you could like die instantly if it went awry up on top of that. Let's go with that. And I don't like it. So,
Well,
Jenna,
now
are
that
you
put it
there?
that way.
rock on.
It's like my two worst fears put into one.
I know.
An enclosed space and heights. That sounds like not fun at all.
So this is where my sick and twisted mind goes is, okay, I'm up on top of this really skinny pole building with a big thing on the top of it, and there's a fire. What do we do?
I, at that point, would hope there was a bungee thing. Women and kids first.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't
I mean,
know.
that was where my sick and twisted mind went. But anyway,
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Do they have parachutes?
It's BYOP. Bring your own parachute.
Yeah, that's why.
Ma'am, why is your bag so big? Well, I brought my own parachute just in case.
You're walking in one of those big, like, flying squirrel glider suits and everything else. I'm being prepared. Leave me alone.
Does a hang glider fit in the elevator? Oh my gosh, no, it's so funny.
Dress attire.
Right. But no, it's cool once you get up there. It's just the getting there is the whole thing. So this goes back to that building, and I don't have any desire to do that. Are you a fisherman?
Yes, I'm also terrible at it.
Well, see, I feel like fishing's one of those things that you don't have to be good at to enjoy.
That's the logic I like to go off of.
Yeah. It's more about just the relaxation of the act of the fishing
Absolutely.
and sitting outside and enjoying nature.
That is how I justify it.
Yeah.
Because I never catch anything.
Yeah, I like where you're going with that. Well, there was a guy down in North Carolina, and his post is going viral because he put it on Facebook. He reeled in a fish with a mouth full of human-like teeth. He was in Nag's Head, and Nathan Martin posted a 9-pound sheep's head fish. Doesn't it look like a person? What the heck? And I've been to that Nag's Head pier, and it's that's freaky. The post hashtagged Big Teeth Big Times was shared hundreds of times on social media. Commenters pointed out the human-like quality of the fish's teeth. He said it's a very good fight when you're fighting on the line. It's a really good catch, and it tastes very good. Sheep's head fish are known for their teeth, which allow them to eat, they eat everything. They're omnivores.
I couldn't tell.
They typically are found in coastal areas, including North Carolina. I have never in my life seen something like that. It looks like a person.
It has canines, it looks like.
Yeah. What the heck?
But
I mean, needless to say, it needs some braces, but poor little thing.
they
I thought it was fake when I first saw it. Like someone was messing with me.
considering some of the stuff that they pull out of the water, that's probably not even the weirdest thing.
Probably
But
not.
They kind of say like art imitates life and all, but that was a failed project.
Was God drunk that day? Like,
left the oven on? Oh.
let's make some weird looking fish teeth.
I guess every now and again you get bored and just really have to mess with the people on Earth.
I suppose.
Look at this weird fish.
So Jenna has her phone with it. Can you look up sheep's head fish and see, do they all look like that, or is that one just a freak of nature? That's what I'm wondering. Like, do they all have mouths like that?
I think that would coincide. They all look like that, but that definitely means they're still freaks of nature.
Right. Yeah, it's both.
Have you seen like the garfish, like that come out of the Ohio River and everything? With like they're nasty.
What?
They're horrible.
What do they look like?
They're like really long, and they've got this big long jaw and all these sharp, nasty, curved teeth and everything in it.
No, thank you.
No. I caught one when I was pretty young. As as I age and everything else like that, it turns out that I'm not willing to discuss when this happened.
A couple of years ago.
Yes,
Haven't I taught you
exactly.
anything?
That's right. Okay. Yes. Once upon a couple of years ago, I pulled one out of the Ohio River and everything, and it was just
more reason to not be in the
very
Ohio
much.
River.
Oh yeah.
So they're ugly,
Oh
nasty,
yeah.
scary.
They bite too.
Oh, no, thank you.
Yep. It wasn't a good catch. He got tossed back.
Yeah. So did you find the sheep's head fish?
Yeah, they all have teeth like that, but that fish had bigger teeth than most of them. They're all a lot smaller.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that one just happened to have a large chomper set.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm like, you would think that would be all over the place if all those fish looked like that.
There might be some sort of like ichthy dental practice or something else like that.
Someone using that as their mascot.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be the worst mascot.
Oh, gosh. Well, I guess if they could take the fish and fix them.
Maybe.
What if they make fish braces? Wouldn't that be the cutest thing? You have like a little fish tank, and your fish in your dental office had braces.
Yeah, and everything, like a big picture of like a sheep's head fish, a big poster of it. You're
Before
never
and
fully
after?
dressed without a smile.
Here's him before. Here's him after. Yeah, that's probably not good.
No, it's before and after.
So we got to laugh, and I was at the lake with some of my girlfriends over the weekend and past weekend, and one of the girls has a house on Apple Valley Lake, and she was like, "Just watch out for the bluegill," and we were like, "What?" And they nibble your rear end when you're floating in the water. Little perverts. They get ya. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And they just come up and they just like.
Apparently, a
kinda
lot
nip
of
at
fish
you.
do that. But the bluegill, apparently.
I'm like, don't wear
especially.
anything shiny, I guess. I don't know. Like, is there anything, like, what? I don't know what attracts them, but.
I'm not certain either. Believe me, I do not know what attracts fish. The only ones I pull out of the water are prehistoric evil monsters, apparently.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
That
Wink.
you want to throw back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I get it. All right. Oh, we have not gone over the weather forecast, so let's do that. And let's talk about your Total Media Radio weather forecast quickly. And your forecast is it's going to be real hot for the rest of the week.
I can't wait.
With, I know, right? 40% chance of rain, 40 to 50% chance of rain every day. Highs around 90 degrees, lows around 71 today, highs around 89 tomorrow, lows of 73, heat index of 97 tomorrow, heat index of 98 today. So just hot, 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 hot. So it does look like Saturday, Sunday, hopefully those temperatures go down a little bit. I mean, 90s are one thing. 80s are dealable, but 90s not so much.
No,
Yeah.
it's...
Especially with the humidity and all of that.
Well, being a redhead as well, I think about the sun and I
Yes.
get burned. It's always horrible. It's...
You have the ginger skin for sure.
Yes.
So do you just go from white to red, back to white, or do you tan?
No. Oh, yes. my wonderfully Greek bronzed skin and everything shows. No, I don't tan.
He goes from white to red to pink to red to pink to white.
Yep.
Yep.
Lobster in a pot.
I feel ya. Understood. I feel about the same way. So, are you a video game person?
Yeah.
You like to play video games?
Mm-hmm.
So we had a story a couple of weeks ago about a Super Mario game that sold for I think it was $1.45 million. And well, believe it or not, a new record has been broken. So if you have any of these lying around your house, you might want to grab it. A sealed copy of Super Mario Brothers for the Nintendo Entertainment System sold for $2 million, breaking the record that was set less than a month ago. A new in-box copy of a 1985 video game was purchased by an anonymous buyer for $2 million, breaking the record set in July when a Super Mario 64 sold for $1.5 million, not billion, million. I'm not exactly sure, and I said this when they had the $1.5 million one. What do you do with a $2 million video game that's in a package?
I never having that kind of disposable income before I guess people do what they want with their money. I don't know what you would do with it. It would make a nice shelf piece, a nice conversational piece. I guess when you had people over at your large mansion.
At your ginormous mansion.
Yes, you can, I bought this for $2 million.
I mean, unbelievable.
That is a very good point, though. People don't really know that if you have old sports games, especially sports games, some of those old handheld sports games that are laying around and everything else like that, a lot of money. Those regularly sell for like the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Even not in box. It's remarkable. There's been stories of people going to yard sales and flea markets and finding copies of these for just a couple dollars and then realizing that they're worth tons and tons of money to collectors.
Crazy.
It's whoa.
In this article, they actually say that COVID was kind of a catalyst for getting people interested in collectibles again, because it was something they could do while they were home or whatever, and so people have started collecting things again.
Collectibles and video games, yeah, people really got into that while they were stuck at home, which I guess that would be a valid thing to do while you were stuck at home.
I suppose. So yeah, there you go.
I don't think I'd spend that kind of money if I had it on that, but to each his own or her own.
Hey, I would be happy to sell one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd be. Take my money.
Here's my video game for $2 million.
Yeah. All right. Really?
No problem.
Like you had to wonder what that person thought. It's like, I'll sell it to you for $2 million. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that works.
Really?
Oh, I mean 4.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I said 4. Like 200 million.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole Dr. Evil thing.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, we need to get out of here for the day. So it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you today.
The same.
Thank you for coming up and spending the morning with us, bringing some news stories, and we will see. We have who?
Dog Pound tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Deb from the Dog Pound will be here tomorrow, and she has some major announcements, and we'll talk about Dog Pound things as well. So. We always look forward to having Deb and Jen and the gang on the program because they're, number one, fun people, but number two, they do such a good job and taking care of our local furry friends and all of that. And so we'll be talking with them tomorrow. We look forward to it. All right. Well, have a good day.
Thank you very much. I hope you have a good day, and thank you for enduring me.
Thank you. Well, thank you for
We have
hanging out
weathered
with
the
us.
storm.
Yeah. So have a great day, everyone. We appreciate you tuning in, and we'll be right back here tomorrow. Bye.